everyone! Welcome back to Yunafra Talk! With me Yudhis,
Nasya,
Fransisca.
and today we will explore about an interesting topic that everyone has experienced in this area, especially how we work together with others. So our topic today is about the psychology of teams, winning together or falling apart. So we will explore about how SMART goals guide us to work with others and how PDCA helps us to improve step by step, and also how we connect with others, especially experienced in school, maybe in the competition and also in organization.
So let's get started. So first, let's talk about group dynamics. I believe that we have experienced many teamwork cases before, either it's good or bad. So Yudhis, how about you?
Yes, for sure. Back in my high school, I was a part of student council, or we can say OSIS. At the time, I lead a division, especially civic engagement. My main challenge is how to coordinating members, especially how to focus the job description. And honestly, it was tough because everyone has a different personalities and communication style. So we need to collaborate with others with different ways.
okay, so that's really interesting actually. Did you notice any personalities, like how personalities affected your teamwork?
Yes, if I link with the DICC personality and transactional analysis, I can see how different communication style made from teamwork either smooth or stressful. For example, some people were more dominant, some more analytical, and I had to adjust my ego state, sometimes being maybe more parental, sometimes more ecological. So we need to make sure that everyone maybe how to work with us.
Good point. So what about your experience, Nasya?
So in my case, I was a class leader in high school. I often initiated group works and discussions and planning. According to my DISC test, I'm DC apparently, which means I'm dominant and conscientious. That explains why I like to set structure and keep people accountable. So sometimes it works, but sometimes people felt that I was too strict.
Oh, okay. That's balance always tricky, right?
Yeah.
And how about you, Fransisca?
So actually my DISC result was CD. So usually in group work, I enjoy discussions and can help direct others. But if actually someone else's takes the lead, I am fine with that too. And I think that this flexibility make it easier for me to adapt. And I was active in student organizations, so I had plenty of practice in balancing my own style with others.
So, you can see here, right? Like group dynamics do depend on not only on tasks but also on personality, communication styles, and even ego states. That's why sometimes teams click, right? And sometimes they don't click and they struggle.
Okay, now let's move on to goals. Sometimes teamwork can fall apart if goals are unclear. So, how did you guys actually handle goal settings in your team?
Okay. For me, I always make sure that our group know what exactly goals we're working toward. I usually have with task division and planning in the first stage because my the ICC type is CD. So I'm naturally detail oriented basically. So I want things that so accurate and align with the objective that we designed before. So in practice, this is similar with the SMART goals, maybe even if we didn't always call it that.
Good point. What about you, Nasya?
As for me, I really believe in SMART goals, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, which Yudhis has mentioned before. When I lead, I often set quick wins, like finish in one section to another in a day, and then I map out the timeline and allocate the task to my group members. So it keeps the team moving without making them feel too overwhelmed, you know?
But honestly, I think most of the time we were already doing SMART goals without even realizing it. Like, we always had specific deadlines and targets, but knowing the SMART framework, of course, helps us to be more intentional. If a team use it properly, their goals would be much clearer and easier to track.
Okay,
That's right, that's
exactly. Smart goals, maybe it can help us to team focus and avoid confusing things, so especially in group project like this podcast today, because we have a lot of assignment and other things. So we make sure that smart goals help us to focus and avoid confusing.
Exactly.
That's right.
Okay, now let's move on again to talk about continuous improvement or the PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, and act. Did your groups usually use this cycle?
Okay. I like to start everything with planning, then bring to group together and discuss and finalize the concept, and finally put into an action. So for me, basically, a planning is very important thing in group dynamic, especially in group projects. So we can know what is the exactly objective from our group.
You're so right. So like after planning, we do the execution too, right? Like we jump into execution, but we also check while doing it. Like for example, in this podcast project, we recorded once,
Yes.
but we also listened to the audio again to see what could be done better. So not only that we are doing the execution, but over time we are also doing the evaluation.
Exactly. And like when we found problems, we didn't just stop. We tried to fix them, and that's actually the act stage. For example, if the flow felt unnatural, we adjusted the script and tested again.
You're so right, guys. So like PDCA keeps the team in a learning loop, right? Like instead of repeating the same mistakes over and over, we keep on doing PDCA to make our group work the best. So another interesting topic is influence and capability. Sometimes leaders emerge informally in teams. So what do you think about that? Have you noticed that in your teams, like having informal leaders appear?
Yes, totally. For example, when I was doing my competition, especially in business case competition, I work with others engineering students. Even though I wasn't the formal leaders, I had to use the informal leadership to build trust and connection with others. So informal influence is powerful in keeping team human, because for me, friendship is very important to do the project.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen informal leaderships too, but in my case, I've seen expert power. Like if the task is highly technical, we would usually naturally depend on the person with the most knowledge on that field. So they naturally become the leader, even if officially they're not in the position of being the leader.
But we cannot forget about connection power. I know someone who quickly became a division director in an organization. I believe that probably because of their competence, but I also noticed that there is connections shared in getting them the position. Influence is actually isn't just about skill; it can also comes from network too.
Okay, so tips aren't only about the formal structure, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether from the expertise, personality, connection, it's how team actually work. So, alright, let's work this out. Today we seen that effective teamwork requires. So today we talks about how to understanding personalities with the ICC and communicating well using transactional analysis, setting clear with the SMART goals, and continue with improving with the PDCI. So, and recognize the different sources in influence and capability.
So at the end of the day, guys, teamwork isn't just about dividing tasks, right? So it's more about connecting people and making sure that everyone is doing contributions and doing their work. So all in all, thank you guys for tuning in to our Juvenafra Talks.
Thank you.